have literally hundreds of these beautiful butternut squash from harvest this fall. So I was thinking I wanted to make a side or a main course, and then I thought about rice. So the great thing about rice is that whether you're making a dessert, a side dish, or using it as a main course, it's packed full of nutrition, and the best part for me is it's easy to make. So I'm gonna do two different rices. I'm gonna do white rice and brown rice. I'm gonna do them in a pilaf style. So I'm gonna teach you how to make a rice pilaf, and you're gonna be able to make this for this dish, but what you'll get in the habit of doing is making 2 or 3 portions at a time, keeping it in the refrigerator or even freezing it so that you have fast food at home. Let's get started. I'm going to start by roasting the squash and then getting started on the rice pilaf. Now that the butternut squash are in the oven, they'll roast for about an hour until they're tender. I've seasoned them with salt and pepper. They'll be beautiful. But now it's time for the main ingredient. I've got beautiful long grain rice, both brown and white. And you know I like to eat local, and when it comes to rice, the best we can do as Canadians is US grown rice. It's grown right next door, and man is it nutritious. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna teach you a little chef trick. It's called a bouquet garnier. And that is a simple flavor base that goes into rice, and finishing in the pilaf method means you start it on the stovetop and you finish it in the oven. What that means for you and I is we can forget about it. It's easy and it's simple, and man is it delicious. Using this beautiful sheet from the leek, take and fold the flat leaf parsley in half, tuck the fresh thyme in, and 1 bay leaf or even 2, fresh if you've got them, and then put 4 or 5 black peppercorns in. Take and roll that up nice and snug, being gentle to roll it, and then take some butcher twine, wrap it around, and tie that up. Leave yourself just enough string so you can fish it out of the rice when it's finished. With the second bouquet garnier done, and I'm telling you, every time you make rice, you're going to want to use the bouquet garnier. If you want to make good food great, all you need is a few simple techniques. Now, I've got 2 bouquet garniers and I've got 2 pans because I am going to do 1 pan for white and 1 pan for brown rice. They need different ingredients. The brown rice needs a little bit more water, so it's 1 cup of brown rice to 2.5 cups of water, and the white rice is 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. It's very simple, but if I was to put them together, the white rice would be done a little bit sooner than the brown rice. So I'm going to cook them separately, and it's something you can do. Now listen, when you're making rice, the easiest time to make 1 portion or 2 portions or 10 portions is all at the same time. So what I always do is when I'm cooking for 1 meal, I make sure to plan for 2 or 3 in advance. With the mushrooms and the onions sauteing back there, I want to make sure to develop that flavor before I put the rice in. Now these grains, they're something else. Just 1 cup of cooked brown rice represents 2 out of 3 of your daily servings for whole grains. That is incredible. You need to be making this every single week. But to kick this recipe up a notch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of sauteed butternut squash into the rice. I'm going to take and make tiny little nuggets of this butternut squash, saute it, and fold it in gently to finish this up. You can see how incredibly rich that stock is after deglazing. The mushrooms and the onions just take that to another level. Now dropping the bouquet garnier in, it's time to leave just enough of that string so I can fish it out, cover it up, and this can go straight into the oven. As I'm working with this butternut squash, I'm thinking about how great it is to know where your food comes from. And with US rice, I know where it's grown. And the thing that I love about it for my family is it's got no sodium, no cholesterol, and no gluten. So it's completely free of those, and it's very low in allergens. So when you talk about food, this is a smart food. Both the brown and the white rice are now done, but I want to show you these little volcanoes that kind of develop on the surface when it cooks. That lets you know that it's finished. And I've left these in for about 40 minutes, 350 degrees. The thing that I love about cooking them in the oven is you really don't have to watch them. It never burns, and because you've got a lid on top of it, it controls the humidity. Now, have a look at these beautiful squash. They're roasted to perfection and ready to be stuffed. When I go to stuff, I want to make sure that I use a fork to separate the little kernels. That way, if I use a spoon, it kind of clots them together. Now this is the last thing. Remember our bouquet garnier. We've got those strings attached so we can fish them both out. Set those aside. We've literally used everything that's good inside them, and now that flavor is inside the rice. Listen, for this recipe and for many more, go to riceinfo.com and see how many incredible things you can do with rice. Its nutritional value, what you can make for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, for desserts, really any meal of the day. Enjoy this recipe, share it with your friends, and I hope you'll make it again and again.